on. Hey, we talked last night about relationship status, and hopefully you had a chance to ask some questions, think about it. But now we're going to get a chance to actually participate and see this live and interact with them live. So let's give it up for Clinton again. Pop.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And his lovely wife, Tanya, that we heard so much about last night.
And everybody, I want you guys to say hello to our audience. Hello, say hello. We are streaming live right now at RemyLive.com, and if you've got friends back home that you want to enjoy Florida from their computer screen, they can do that. But we are streaming on our website, and typically we don't do a live stream event of the relationship status.
That's right.
We usually film it in our studios. We get about, we used to get about 100 questions a week about various things, but we've answered so many questions that I think people are kind of bored now with our answers.
Hopefully not.
So now we've taken it on the road.
And here we are.
And here we are from Panama City Beach, Florida. We're excited. How many of you are really excited the sun came out today? Now, a couple ground rules. You are able to submit questions now in real time. My laptop, otherwise known as Lappy, is actually going to be speaking to me throughout our time together. So if you have a question right now that you didn't get in last night, it's so simple. All you got to do is text the word remedy, and if you can't spell it, talk to the person next to you. Remedy to the number 313131, and it comes into the cyberspaces and into this machine here, and then I can read the question, and some of you have already done that this morning at 4. Yeah. We didn't know. Or how early maybe after you've already been in a relationship. How many of you have been in a relationship?
I'm a loner.
How many of you got your heart broke? Yeah, quite a few hands. Quite a few hands. So let's start out. How early do you think should you be dating? Because it's hard to navigate when you're not even fully formed adolescence-wise yet. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think, the longer that you can possibly wait, the better. We have 3 daughters, and we are...
They will wait till they're 40 before they date. 40.
I think the longer that you can wait, the more you kind of see your friends go through the heartbreak.
Yeah.
And, you see the mistakes that are made, and you figure out that your heart is so much more fragile than any other part of you.
Mm-hmm.
And
you only got one heart.
That's right. And just to guard that like it's gold is so amazing. And so I think that the longer that you can possibly wait, the better. To put an age to it, I think everyone is at a different point along that maturity journey.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I look out at you guys and I see a lot of hormonal activity. You're like,
not
so embarrassed, does it show? I'm walking down the gauntlet here, and you can just see all the hormones just oozing out of their bodies. Now, here's the deal, and you guys don't know this, but you are at a stage of your life, physically, biologically, where you are nothing more than a sexual train wreck. Okay? Everything in your body is saying, go, go, go. And you're kind of like a train that doesn't have a track. You're just going to start crashing into things. And guys, you know what I'm talking about. You start crashing into things, right? So what am I saying? Well, I think that it's really good what you're saying, honey, that you wait until you start to understand better of who you are. Because if you base everything right now, and just think about this, if you base all your relationships off of what you feel, you will do the wrong thing, because we feel like we want to experiment, we want to check things out, we want to go to that party, we want to do that thing, we want to be a little naughty. And unfortunately, once that happens, heart gets broke, we don't get a do-over, now what do? And some of you ladies know that you've made mistakes and now you believe the lie. Well, I've already been there, already done that, I guess there's no hope for me, I might as well just keep going down that road. And dudes, when you make mistakes, we don't talk about regrets because we're guys, we just get tattoos. But the reality is, I've had a lot of regrets. I had a sexual past that I've had to look in this woman's eyes and say, will you forgive me for breaking your heart even before I knew you by treating women improper? And that baggage was brought into our marriage, and we had to work through that, and that's hard slugging. So,
But, you know, I will say that all of that made him just an amazing man in his humility because he owned that.
But so most people aren't even humble.
Well, I'm saying though, if you have gone
not as humble as me.
If you've gone through that, make that course correct right now.
Yeah, you can make a course correct.
And learn from that, and you'll be better for it, and you'll be able to, you know, just rise above instead of seeping down that path, because that path, like, there's a verse in Proverbs that talks about how, you know, there's a way that seems so right at the time, but it leads to, does anyone know? Destruction. Like, and so I think that is a road that you don't want to be on, even if it feels so amazing.
Yeah.
You know?
And we, you know, we've got friends that work for MTV, and we know that they're producing television. But when we talk to these people, they will tell us, they know that this lifestyle is a train wreck. They will tell us, they know that these girls that are shaking their thing and, you know, girls gone wildish, that those girls are going nowhere fast. And so do not let the media lie to you. I'm going to talk a bit about that tonight, about how the media lies to you. They'll never call you the next morning and tell you that they're so sorry they misled you into a heartbreak. You'll never get a call from Kanye saying, I am so sorry. You'll never get a call from Katy Perry saying, you know what? I feel bad about Friday. You went out and did that. You'll never get a call. Oh, just because you're needy. All right. Next question.
Yeah, well, and then the second part of that question, I think, was we could have taken that, unless if someone wants to raise their hand if they ask that question, we could have taken that as maybe you're healing from a different relationship that you've been in, and you're asking how early is too early to bounce back from that. And, you know, I think if you're asking that question, there might still just be something that you just need to heal through, and take that time. You're never going to get it back. You know, if you jump right back into a relationship too early, like Clinton says, train wreck, you know. So take the time that you need, and only you know that. Another thing, too, sometimes is to ask the friends around you. They can warn you from, like, the bridge is out, up ahead, kind of things.
Yeah.
Because when we're in the middle of it, our heart is involved, and we are blinded to certain things, but they sometimes see the things that we wish that we could see.
Yeah, because we're caught up in infatuation and love, or love.
Right.
Yeah, good. Next question goes in a way different direction, and we're going to offend the entire female population in this room.
Can we ask it?
Go ahead and ask it, because you're the female.
If a woman dresses sexy and walks down a road and a man grabs her and rapes her, who is in the wrong?
This is a really strange question, but I think I understand where the person's coming from. You know, I've been working with youth now 20 years, and you know, I'll be sitting with a bunch of dudes having like that serious one-on-one hard talk about lust and about how they say, I am a hormonal, you know, machine. And I'm walking around, and all these women are dressed sexy, and I see cleavage everywhere I go, and it is playing with my brain, and I'm angry at those women because they are causing me to be tempted. And the question really is, you know, who's in the wrong here? Is it the woman who's dressing sexy and in front of her mirror thinking, I'm going to get some eyeballs today? Or is it the man who's just, you know, obvious? Now, you will have to unpack in the months after and the weeks after. And by the way, most people that get raped don't talk about it. That's another sad statistic. So talk about it if you've been abused that way. But if you have gone through that, then you'll have to unpack after the rape. Okay, now, what course correction do I need to make in the way that I present myself? Because maybe I am sending off a message that is what I am open to doing, is giving away sexuality. Now, again, you did not deserve the rape. You did not deserve the abuse. But you have to be careful that you're not selling some kind of a message to this generation of men. I'm just going to say this because I'm a pretty blunt, straightforward guy. You're the first generation that's been raised on porn. Ever. In the history of the human race. You've been raised on porn. 93% of you guys, statistically, have been raised on porn. 47% of you women have been raised on porn. But I would even go further that you've been raised on the fact that Victoria doesn't have no more secrets. Okay? So you have been educated by the media to believe that thing, that you need to be sexy or you're not significant. You gotta be sexy or you're not going to be able to make it in this world. And the problem with that lie is that sex was created by God for something completely different than we're using it for in this day and age. Absolutely different. 180 degrees different, like on the opposite side of the planetoid. Different.
And when your identity is in that, right? Like, it never ends. There's always something more, or there's always a way to be more revealing, or, you know, more eye-catching in that way, I think, you know. And so that path just keeps going, you know. And I think, you know, there's a way as women that we can advertise the outside, and there's a way that we can value and respect ourselves for what is on the inside, that is not going to sag after you have kids, like me, and is not going to wrinkle, and, you know, like, that is the beauty, trust me, girls, that you want to, like, hold on to, and that is what you want a man to fall in love with.
Yes.
Not what is on the outside. And because once that starts to decline, if that's what they've fallen in love with, guess where they're going to go?
Well, they'll go to the next coochie mama that shows it off.
So, so just trust me, you don't want that to be, you know, what they cling to first.
Yeah,
in you.
yeah. But guys, you have a responsibility, okay? You've got a responsibility, and we'll talk about this a bit tonight, not too much, but when you dishonor a woman because you look at her as a sexual piece of meat, you know, that's going to come back on you. That's going to come back on you big time. You're going to have a daughter one day. And all of a sudden you're going to realize, wait a minute, is this, you know, the sins of the father going to come back on me? If I treat women this way, then does it come back on me? And I'm not going to get all ancestral sin on you here, but the reality is we have got to respect women, because if we don't respect women, ultimately we're not respecting ourselves, because God gave us an opportunity to admire women in a way that lifts them up and makes them feel precious and genuine, not used and abused. And trust me, women will only respect you for so long if you treat them like meat. Then they will again decide to go and find another man at the grocery store or somewhere else in their life that will give them the attention that they're seeking, and you'll be stuck with a broken heart. And you won't talk about it. You'll just self-medicate. And you'll jump to the next girl, and the next girl, and the next girl, and sooner or later, you got yourself a collection. So, tough question, but a good question. What's our next one here?
When is sex okay in a relationship?
Sex okay in a relationship. Well, we're not dumb, okay? We know that sex, again, as I've talked about in the media, every song you can find on iTunes in the top 10 is generally dripping with sexual innuendo, okay? So, really, everything that you guys are immersed in is sexualized in some way, shape, or form. And so the question isn't if, or isn't should, but usually it's when. You know, when should I, rather than you know, should I? And we believe again that sex is amazing. Oh, all right.
Every time.
Can I embarrass all you right now? Close the stream.
You work hard. I'll just say.
I'll tell you. Okay. Now. Weavers, keep it down the back. Now I'm blushing. Okay, obviously the first thing, nothing more than a biological encounter. And generally, it is meant for selfish purposes. I don't think I ever went into any one-night suit and precious. No, let's be honest. I went into every one-night stand to do what? S-E-X and get mine. Now get mine. Now, let me be even more candid, okay? Orgasm is not what sex is all about. I think for some of us dudes, that's all we think. You know, I got a guy in my life right now I'm dealing with. He's a pornaholic. He's 30-some years old, okay? He's a pornaholic. He's 30-some years, and he's married to his wife. Now, because of porn and interacting with pixels on a computer screen, masturbating to that imagery, he will start masturbating and have orgasm within 90 seconds. Okay? How long do you think he's lasting when he is having sex with his wife? About 90 seconds. How long does it take a woman to get up and start it?
Well, I don't know if I want to tell everyone. Everyone knows here.
You open the can of worms.
It's a lot longer.
A lot longer than 90 seconds, right. You see the breakdown here, ladies? If you're with a man who is charged up because of pornography, which again, most men unfortunately today struggle with this issue, and they get into the marriage bed or into a union with you, and all they want is the big O, then you're left on the side of the road with a sadness of, what's this about? I don't even enjoy this. This isn't even good. Now the dude's okay with it because he got his. But he'll get his too later on. Trust me, that's my story. You just start to hate yourself for who you are. You're not a man. You know what you are? You're a slave to pixels on a screen is what you are. You're a slave. You're no man. You're no warrior. You're this drooling idiot who walks around and looks at images on a screen. You walk through the mall and you can't even stare at your feet because you're looking at all of the posters on the walls of girls that are scantily clad. You are enslaved. You're not a man. That was me. That was me. The question is, though, about sex.
Right.
So, the reason why God said, you know what, let's get married first. Let's get married first. Now, this is not a popular philosophy in today's society because when you are so sexually educated, the last thing you want to do is wait. We don't like a few words in our human dictionary. No, we don't like the word no. We like the word now. Do you understand what I'm saying? We don't like the word no, we like the word now. And everything. You want instant everything. Okay? You cannot stand to wait 24 hours for an Amazon delivery truck. You want it now. Why can't they just give it to me on the computer now? You want to download it? You want to have it now. So when it comes to things like the sexual libido, well, we'd like you to wait for approximately, I don't know, 26, 27 years. Could you do that? No, I can't. Because you are at the phase of your life where everything in your body is saying, now, I want this now. I want this now. I dream about it. I think about it. I want it now. And yet this is the way God works, is He's creating within you this incredible thing. You guys have a neurochemical in your body called dopamine. Did you know that? You've all heard of this. You know this. Dopamine was created by God so that you would be attracted to people. God is not against attraction. God thinks it's a very good thing that you're attracted. The first commandment in the Bible is be fruitful and multiply. It is. It's get out there and make babies. He really does want you to be active. But He's like, the covenant is super important. You guys know what the word covenant means? Contract, agreement, that you will be with one woman or one man in the case of marriage, and you will say, look, I commit to you. Because a committed relationship where there are boundaries, God does something powerful. And now the orgasm is the icing on the cake. And it's not 90 seconds. It's all night.
Well, and we talk all the time about how, that is just a glue, to a marriage. I believe that sex and the big O is meant to kind of smooth over and like glue things together that are hard in a marriage. Like, we have an amazing marriage. Like, I am way more in love with this man than I even was at the altar that day that we got married. And for 10 years to just intensify a relationship, like, that has helped us in the conflicts that we've had, in the hard conversations that we've had, and the times that we've disagreed on things and not known how to get to the other side sometimes. And when that glue is in a dating relationship, it is so dangerous. Because, how many of you guys have seen your friends in relationships having sex and with the absolute wrong person, and you don't know why they're with them. Who?
How many of you have friends
Like,
are, yeah.
you have no idea. Like, they're terrible people to your friend. You have no idea. And like, this glue is, it's just a lie, you know? And so we talk about all the time how dangerous it is to mess with that, but how amazing and beautiful it is in a marriage to reap the benefits of that.
Yeah. When you are doing sex God's way, it is a form, get this, sit down, who are jumping into these decisions without really a whole lot of logic. But when you do it God's way, wow, is it the right way? Is it a good way? And if you do not have a good worldview, remember that word from last night? If you do not have a good biblical worldview of sex, I'd love to talk to you today about it. Because the Bible has a lot to say about it, and it is good.
Well, and, you know, even backing it up, you know, before sex happens, you know, like there's still so much that can happen to, you know, bind you to that other person that you're not really supposed to be with, you know. And, you know, I do have regrets. I waited, you know, he was my first to have sex with, but I did a lot of things that I still wish that I would not have done in relationships. And, you know, I, in 6th grade, made that promise to myself that I was not going to have sex before marriage. And I stuck to that, but I really, if I would have made my boundary a lot better, I would have said, instead of how close can I get to the edge, I would have said, how far away can I stay from the edge?
Yep.
Do you know what I'm saying? And so really make this trip be like a place where you start to put your stake in the ground of where you want that boundary to be and where you know you are not going to pass. And no man, no matter how much you think you love him and how much you think that he loves you, like, love waits. I know that is said so much, but it is so true. That if they really do love you, they will respect you and wait.
We've had about 75 questions come in.
Oh, my word. We're taking our time.
We've got enough for the whole week. And we apologize if we're talking about sex so much.
Yeah.
We like it quite a bit.
I know.
Let's go to the next question that we got here, and then we'll pick one from our live audience. And by the way, we've got people watching in Leo, Indiana, so say hi to the people in Leo. Hello, Leo. And then, this is strange, I don't know why this is, but there are a number of people watching from Africa right now.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I'm not joking.
Hello.
Hello, Africa.
Hello, Africa.
I wish I could see you.
Well, 40 people watching from Africa right now.
That is so great.
Apparently they want relationship advice.
Okay, this is a really good one. I love this question. I'm wanting to be wanted by someone, but no one seems to care. What should I do to get noticed? I love this question.
Yeah, I'm wanting to be wanted by someone, so that's a natural need. We all want to be significant. We all want to be looked at. We want to be loved. Every one of us wants to be loved, even us tough guys. We want to be significant. But no one seems to care. Now that's a tough one because I disagree that no one seems to care. I know a number of people in this room that do care, and they don't even know you yet. But they do care because they do not look at the packaging. They do not look at the actions. They just look at the heart, and they know your heart, like all hearts, desire to be loved and accepted. So there are people that care. But what should I do to get noticed? That's a dangerous question because that leads to the revealing clothing. That leads to the rebellious activity. There's a lot of young men and women around America right now that they know they shouldn't be going out, breaking the law, and doing stupid things, but that's the only way they get their mom and dad to notice them. Some of your dads in this room haven't spoken to you ladies in a long time, like a conversation, a daddy-daughter. I date my daughters every week. I date this woman every Tuesday.
He does.
Every week. It's expensive.
But we all have so much fun.
But we do have a good time. Because I never want my daughters nor my wife to ever question, do I adore you? And so this is a tough one because what should I do to get noticed? First of all, don't sell yourself out. You know, don't do something stupid that you're going to regret who you are or what you did. Because I'll get back to the enemy of God. We call him the devil, whatever you want to call him. His lies are, now that you've made mistakes, now that you are going down this road of trying to get this being noticed, that's all you are. Your identity is now that. You are now a tramp. You are now someone that does things that are wrong, and you'll start to believe that lie. So what I recommend you do is, first of all, pray. I believe in this crazy thing that prayer works. Yesterday we had am I not an angry person?
Not all the time.
Well, I get angry.
You get angry.
And that's because I have a lot of regret of poor choices made. God is on the move. Prayer works. And I'll tell you, if you are struggling with feeling significant, pray and ask God to show you this week, this moment, today, how valuable you are to Him. Because at the end of the day, I know this sounds cliche, but at the end of the day, all you care about is an audience of one, the Creator, the God of the universe who made you. And then as you pray and ask God to give you eyes, God, how do you see me? How do you see me? How do you see me? He'll show you how He sees you, and then He'll place you, as you pray this next prayer, put me in a group of people that will help me see that too. And there are some incredible young men and women in this group that would love to help you understand more of who you are and adore you for what you are.
Well, and I think there's still so much to be said for just being content with yourself.
Yeah.
By yourself. Just being to a point that you don't need that other person. I think there's just something so unattractive to the opposite sex as someone that is latching on to any possible date that they could get, But when we're content and when we're at a place where we really don't need that other person to stand on our own 2 feet, don't you think there's just something more, who thinks that's more attractive, that they're just okay
well,
in life?
How many of you like to have a needy girlfriend or a needy boyfriend?
That's what I'm trying
isn't that something top 10 things? I want them to be codependent. When I met this young lady here, because I had some moves, 3. She told, what she told me? I really don't need a boyfriend.
I wasn't trying to be mean.
Okay. Okay.
I love being with you. It's just I didn't.
And that's what I knew. I knew you loved being with me, but I was so attracted that you were complete that it would be really hard for you. But I also believe you'd go on. And you'd marry some other better looking dude, probably.
No, I'm not better looking.
But the point is, whoa, jeepers. But there's something about God, because at the end of the day, when you stand before God, and we all will, we got one life to live, we don't get a do-over, He's going to ask us, how did you live your life? He's not going to be concerned about, how did your boyfriend live his life? Did you take care of your girlfriend? No, she'll be standing in front of God too. And He'll be asking about her life. So really, I'm not saying look out for number 1, because that's pretty easy to do. We're all selfish people. We've got that thing called the sin. Until you're ready to say, I am confident in who I am, once you step into something where someone completes you like Tom Cruise, hey, you complete me. Then all of a sudden we are relying on a human being. And guess what human beings do, unfortunately? Let us down. We will. You will be let down. But you can be confident in who you are, who God made you to be, and leaning on Him.
Yeah, and I think that path is so much on looking to other people and serving other people. I was single for a long time. We didn't get married until I was 29. And, God really took me on this path because I thought right after I was out of college, I would find someone and I would get married right away. And it didn't happen that way. And I'm really grateful because He showed me, in leading the wilderness treks that I did and working at a downtown mission, helping people that didn't have or that were in a really hard family situation or whatever that was. Just focusing on others and giving instead of expecting. This question is kind of well, what do I get? And instead of looking to what you're going to receive, look to what you can give to others. And somehow, it sounds so backwards, doesn't it? But that is where contentment comes a lot of times, is just in not focusing on ourselves all the time. Do you agree?
Yes.
Just that.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear anything you said.
Okay, but you still agree?
I was looking at some new questions that have come in already.
Okay.
All right, let's do one of these. We got a doozy here. My boyfriend whiskers poke me when he kisses me.
Ouch.
And I don't like it. Did you send this in?
I did. No, I didn't.
I don't want to tell him to shave, though. What should I do? these are tough questions.
If he grows it out a little longer, it's a little softer.
I think you could, we have a very transparent conversation all the time, as you can probably figure it out. We're speaking to a bunch of strangers about sex. We believe, and this is a piece of advice that I think is good for just life in general. Speak honestly with love. Speak honestly with love. We call it transparent communication. It will save you so much drama down the road. And I notice I didn't say text, speak. Texting is the easiest way to misunderstand somebody. Email is the second easiest way to misunderstand somebody. Talk to them face to face and say, "Your whiskers scratch my face." Either shave or no more smoochy smoochy.
I think this could go a little deeper though. Let's take it a little deeper. I think, being in a relationship where you expect the other person to change, like maybe this is just what he likes to look like, And I think being in a relationship where you are expecting the other person to just be different doesn't always work. Like, it probably works 2% of the time, And so I think it's just it's dangerous to walk into a relationship wanting that. And, we always encourage people to be in relationships where you admire that other person, and not that if you're a woman you want a beard, but you kind of admire them and you want to be more like what their character is. And so to take that just a little step deeper, we could say that too. Do you want to do this one?
Just another quick one. How do I ask a girl for her number politely? Is it hot in here, or is it just you?
There's no way.
Let's do a dramatization. This is how you do it politely. Can I please have your phone number?
That was pretty good.
It was, and there was politeness involved. Please give it up for me. Yeah. Oh, this is good. Someone is married in this room, and we don't talk about our finances. We don't talk about our spiritual walk, and we don't get all romantic if we don't schedule to do it.
That's true.
Because life's too busy. You guys are busy people. How many of you are involved with way too many things back home, and you know it? Simplify, folks. Guess who's in charge of your life? You. It's not your coach. It's not your band leader. It's not that choir. What do you call them? Director? You are in charge. Choose it.
And ladies, you want a man that will lead you well, lead your family well. It's so incredible to see him take our daughters out on dates. There's just something so amazing about a man that can lead and pursue you. That is, it melts my heart. Because, I see a lot of women that have to chase and have to, kind of grab at that attention. But when the man leads that in the relationship, there's just no greater love. It feels amazing.
We've got 8 minutes left. Still getting a bunch of questions in. This is a good one. What are 2 keys? 2 keys.
2. 1, 2.
You only want 2. 2 keys to a healthy high school dating relationship. We've talked about a bunch of stuff, but let's throw in a new one.
Go for it.
Healthy friendships. Healthy friendships. I always tell folks, you know what, if you want to really see what the person's made of that you're dating, don't take them down your basement and hang out on the couch. Take them out with your friends. Go out, whatever, bowling, hang out, go to a movie, go grab some B-dubs, whatever you want to do, but go out in groups of friends and see how they act around your friends. If your boyfriend shuts down when you're out with your friends, dump him. He's a selfish jerk. If he'll do that with your friends there, he'll do worse things to you later on selfishly. Trust moi, I wrote the book on it. But if you take him out with friends, or you take her out with friends, you get to see how they act socially. Are they flirtatious with your buddies? Dump her. Seriously, she is wanting the kind of attention that is going to lead you down the road at some serious problems. I think of David and Bathsheba a little bit there. Woohoo! Little Bible story for you. So that's the first key, is have healthy friendships and date in groups of friends. Go out a lot as friends. What would be another key to a healthy high school relationship?
We talk about just communication all the time,
yes,
and how important it is to just be asking questions of the other person, and just to make sure that you really should be together, you know, and talking about things, and like Clinton's saying, not spending time like laying down together, but like sitting across the table at coffee, or, you know, doing things that foster really good talks. Like, then you know, okay, this could be someone that I could be with.
Yeah.
Or, what am I doing with this person? I have nothing in common with them. And
let me give you some free advice, and this is free. We usually charge hundreds and thousands of dollars for what we're about to tell you. Thousands and hundreds of dollars. When you're with someone and you're in a relationship where you're giving them your heart, okay, this is something that you can't get back. Heartbreak is hard. People hang themselves over heartbreak, okay? It's sad, but it happens. So heartbreak is real, and it's big. So here's a couple of tips for communication. If you're with somebody, use this technique. It's not new, it's not ours, but we sell it all the time to people. What I hear you saying is, okay?
sounds really easy.
It sounds easy, but we've been doing it for 10 years, and I still speak like Swahili to her.
Seriously.
And she's like,
in conflict, we're like, okay, so is this what you're saying? And I say back to him what I think I want him to say.
Yeah.
And that does not work either.
I would like to go to Burger King and get a Whopper. So what you're saying is that my butt is big. No. I'm
Seriously,
not saying.
try it. If you're in a relationship, like in your next conflict, try it.
Yeah, you're in a.
So what I hear you saying is, and try.
Because when you're upset, when you're emotionally charged, and you can't even remember what you're fighting over, this is the most difficult thing to do. But if you care about that person, you'll stop and say, okay, so what I hear you saying is you'd like me to open your door when we're out on dates.
Yes. No joke. Women just want to be heard. We just want to be heard.
And men, we just want to be respected. Am I right? We just want respect. You know, we just want to be respected. So when you communicate this way, men get respect, and women
feel heard.
They feel heard.
Yeah.
And you got yourself what they call harmony. But if you can't communicate, if you're from Mars and she's from Venus, you're talking two different languages. Oh, wow. Train wreck-a-rooney.
Your favorite word today.
It really is. Guys, we've got 4 minutes left. Are there any questions from the crowd? You're just going to be bold. Put your hand up. Yes.
How do you guys feel that technology and social sites like affect relationships? I know you guys didn't really grow up with the technology.
We didn't have, no, there weren't any, there wasn't even a television when I was a kid. That's a great question.
Yeah, it is a good question. Because I think, you know, some relationships are only over Facebook, right? Or only by texting.
Yeah.
And there's no time spent together. And, you know, I think you can fake it so much over, you know, over a screen that it's super dangerous.
But just to back it up, 15% of you will meet your husband or your wife over a social network. Meet them. Meet them. Like, you understand me? You'll never see their face for the first time unless it's over a social network, and then you may have to go to the city where they live in the country to go meet them for the first time physically. 15% of you. That's a statistic that is happening right now in the USOA. So that's a great question.
It is. And, you know, and so many people are breaking up over text, and like that is just shattering. I don't care who you are. Like, that is so hard.
Yeah.
And, you know, just communication that should not be done behind a screen is happening all the time in relationships now.
Yeah, never, just a rule, and you got to make it like at the beginning. By the way, this is what we always do with couples that we marry, like premarital counseling. And this sounds weird, but we always ask them the first meeting, so what's your divorce plan? Now, I ask that question. When we meet with married couples, what's your divorce plan? Of course, people think that is the stupidest question. Well, wait a minute. With 2 out of 3 marriages failing in the United States every day, Is that a dumb question? No. Now, I'm not talking about prenuptials. I'm not talking about, having some kind of a contract, because he understands our human condition, and it's a sad state of affairs, and we'll talk about that probably a little bit throughout the week. But the reason why I talk about divorce in the context of your question is that breaking up with someone via texting, dudes, you're a wimp. You are a complete wimp to do that. It takes a man. You know that this is not what you would want. You would not want your heart crushed this way. And you don't like this dude anymore, that's okay. But come on. Sit down with him and say what we all know is going to be said. It's not you, it's me. Can we still be friends? Use the line, whatever. But do it face to face. We at least deserve that. We've been in a relationship. Let's at least count it out the way we brought it in.
And there's something to be said for the closure that happens when you are face to face with that person. Like it feels more like a break.
Yeah.
And then the next time you see them, you're not going to feel like, do I have to kind of break up with them again? Or, just that awkwardness that can happen.
Well, we're out of time. It's 11:30. Thanks. We haven't talked to anybody on the stream. It's good to see you folks there in the stream. You guys have been great to not throw things at us. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Great. You can keep submitting your questions the same way throughout the day.